You say you want peace, but you pick the fight. You say you want to focus, but you open another tab. You say you want growth, but you choose comfort again. Why do we keep doing the opposite of what we claim to want? Why do we get in our way again and again? This isn't just a modern problem. It's a human one, and Marcus Aurelius saw it clearly 2,000 years ago. He watched men ruin their progress through anger, ego, impulse, and indulgence. He saw how easy it was to blame the world, while he saw ignoring the enemy within. But unlike most, he didn't just observe the pattern, he broke it. This is not a motivational speech. This is the Stoic strategy to defeat the version of you that's been holding you back. You don't need a new year, yeah. You need a new standard. Let's begin. Lesson 1. You are the gatekeeper of your mind, Marcus Aurelius wrote. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. Every self-sabotaging action starts with a thought, usually unquestioned, often false. Your mind becomes chaotic when you allow every worry, criticism, or temptation to enter unchecked. But if you stand guard, questioning what enters, you begin to take back control. Ask yourself, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Is it aligned with who I want to be? Your mind is a fortress. What you allow in becomes who you are. Stand guard not once but every single day. Build that discipline, and you don't just change your mind, you change your future. But how do you do that in practice? One method Marcus used was premeditatio malorum, the anticipation of challenges before they arrive. When he started his day, he would mentally rehearse the difficulties he might face. Rude people, setbacks, failure. Why? Because foreseen emotions lose their surprise, and without surprise, emotions lose their grip. Modern Stoics can use this too. Take 5 minutes each morning. Ask, what emotional temptations will I likely face today? Where might I lose control? Then prepare not by resisting them, but by being ready to meet them calmly. And when the thought does arrive, you're not good enough, or they don't respect you, you already have a script. This is not a truth, it's a test, and I choose reason. That is the gatekeeper's role. Not to stop feeling, but to stop blindly believing. Not to block emotions, but to lead them. Over time, your thoughts stop being storms and become signals. And when that happens, you'll stop sabotaging your peace and start protecting it. Lesson 2. Don't act on impulse. Pause, breathe, and choose. One moment of anger can destroy years of peace. One careless word can damage what you've built. Marcus knew this. That's why he trained himself to pause before reacting, to create space between stimulus and response. You can, too. When emotion rises, don't obey it. Observe it. Breathe. Let the storm pass. Then respond, not from impulse, but from intention. Your power is not proven by how fast you react, shown in how well you hold the line when your emotions beg you not to. We live in an age of speed, instant reactions, instant gratification. But the Stoics knew that the strongest move is stillness. Think of a warrior surrounded by noise, arrows flying overhead, yet his hands stay still, his eyes focused, his breath measured. That's Stoicism in action. The next time you're triggered, ask yourself, will this matter in an hour, in a week, in a year? Then ask, what would the strongest version of me do right now? Restraint is not weakness, it's weaponized discipline. And in a world that worships reaction, your ability to pause becomes a rare kind of power. Marcus Aurelius didn't just preach this, he lived it in the heart of battle, in moments of battle, betrayal. He chose to return to reason. He knew that emotional reaction was a surrender of sovereignty. So when life presses your buttons, remember, your first instinct is survival, but your second can be a strength. Train that second instinct, make it your default. Turn the pause into power. the breath into clarity, the delay into wisdom. Because those who master their reactions master their fate. Lesson 3. Don't confuse comfort with happiness. Comfort seduces. It tells you, stay here, this is enough. Don't push, don't risk it, don't grow. But the Stoics knew better. Marcus Aurelius warned against the softness of excess and the illusion that ease equals joy. Comfort isn't happiness, it's stagnation with good marketing. Every time you avoid the workout, the hard conversation, the early morning, your old self wins. And every time you lean into discomfort, you send a signal, I'm not who I used to be. True happiness comes not from avoiding struggle, but from becoming someone who is forged through it. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort fasting, walking barefoot in cold weather, sleeping without luxury, not because they hated comfort, but because they refused to be owned by it. Seneca once said, set aside now and then several days during which you will be content with the plainest food, and very little of it, and with coarse and rough fruit. Dress, saying to yourself all the while, is this the condition I feared? You gain strength not when you avoid hardship, but when you welcome it, when you choose cold showers over warm ones, books over mindless scrolling, solitude over distraction. You're not rejecting comfort, you're reclaiming control. Comfort whispers to your potential, stay small. Discomfort shouts, let's grow. When you step into a challenge willingly, you become larger than your limits. You don't just build muscle or resilience, you build character. The fire you step into today will forge the strength you'll need tomorrow. So no, comfort is not the goal. Growth is that, and growth begins where comfort ends. Lesson 4. Ego is your greatest enemy. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet reminded himself daily that he was just a man. Ego whispers, you've arrived, you know enough, you are more than them. But ego is the beginning of decay. Ego is the beginning of decay. Calcifies the mind, it closes your ears, it blinds your eyes. The Stoic path is different. It's not about proving you're right, it's about improving, even when no one sees it. Let go of the need to win every debate, to post every highlight, to be seen as perfect. Trade status for substance. You're not here to impress, you're here to evolve. And evolution demands humility. Ego resists feedback. Ego hates correction. Ego thrives in the illusion that you've already arrived. But the true Stoic welcomes correction. He listens carefully. He considers the critique, even from an enemy, because growth is more important than pride. Remember this, you can either defend your ego or develop your potential, but not both. Marcus wrote reminders to himself in his journal, to remain grounded, to see himself as a mere part of the universe, not its center. That's not weakness, that's power with perspective. We live in a culture obsessed with image, but the Stoics lived in pursuit of virtue. So when your ego flares up, when you're tempted to interrupt, to show off, to prove, you must pause. Ask, is this who I want to be, or who I used to be? Greatness doesn't come from being praised, it comes from being sharpened. Let your ego burn so your character can rise. Lesson 5. Don't argue with reality. Accept, then act. Don't make things worse by exaggerating them with your imagination. Marcus Aurelius' life doesn't always go your way. People betray. Plans fall through. Storms hit without warning. The weak protest. This shouldn't have happened. The strong accept. It has. What now? Acceptance isn't surrender. It's a strategy. You can't fight reality and win, but you can face it, move through it, adapt around it. The Stoics didn't avoid pain. They absorbed it, examined it, and built something from it. Pain is data. Resistance is friction, and suffering is usually self-inflicted. You waste energy when you wish things were different, but you build power when you accept things as they are and act from that place. Picture a storm. You can curse the rain, or you can build shelter, redirect water, and plant new seeds. The storm doesn't change. You do. When you stop resisting the present moment, you reclaim the energy to change it. Marcus faced war, disease, betrayal, and death. And yet, he returned to his meditations each night, writing not about how unfair life was, but how he could respond better. This is your practice now, too. When life turns, don't turn bitter. Turn toward it, face it, and grow stronger in the face it, and grow stronger in the process. Because the obstacle doesn't block the path, it is the path. Lesson 6. Purpose makes you stronger than emotion. Emotion is loud. The purpose is quiet. Emotion begs for attention. Purpose demands consistency. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself every day of his duty, not because he was perfect, but because he was perfect, because he needed direction. Why do you wake up? Why do you train, work, study, and struggle? If the answer is shallow status, likes, and approval, you'll burn out. But if the answer is deep, you'll keep going long after the applause ends. Purpose is the compass that keeps you steady in emotional storms. Return to it daily. Write it daily on your mirror. Speak it in the silence. Let it be louder than doubt. Your emotions don't define you. Your mission does. The Stoics knew this. Emotions change, but purpose remains. If you anchor your identity to how you feel, you'll drift. But if you tie yourself to a purpose, you'll hold steady through any storm. You don't need to feel like it. You need to remember why it matters. The soldier marches not because the day is easy, but because the mission is clear. So too must the mission is clear. You, when the mind wavers, return to your reason. When motivation fades, return to your why. Purpose is not found. It's forged through sweat, silence, failure, and recommitment. Anchor yourself to it. Let everything else pass. Lesson 7. Journal. To become your teacher, Marcus wrote meditations not for fame, but to survive himself. He wrote to understand, to confront, to improve. You can do the same. Every evening, write. What did I fear today? Where did I act below my potential? What will I do better tomorrow? This isn't therapy. It's a strategy. It's how you sharpen your perspective and stop repeating mistakes. You don't need a guru. You need a mirror and a pen. Journaling is a stoic weapon. It's where you wage war on false thoughts, catch your excuses in the light, and realign with your principles. Write without filters. Be honest, brutal, kind, but never vegan. This is where you turn chaos into clarity. This scattered mind becomes structured when it's poured onto paper. Track your triggers, log your wins, question your assumptions, break down your bad habits like you're a strategist studying an enemy. Each page you write is a brick in the fortress of your discipline, and the more you build, the stronger you stand. Don't aim for perfect entries. Aim for honest ones, because no one else is watching, but your future self is waiting. Lesson 8. The environment shapes action. Design it wisely. You are not lazy. You are surrounded by distractions that reward laziness. Your phone isn't evil, but it is a portal to mediocrity, to comparison, to time wasted. The Stoics believed in training the mind, but they also believed in shaping the world around it. Clean your space, mute the noise, curate what you consume. Don't rely on willpower. Design a world where the right choice is the easy one. Great minds don't work in chaos. They build a temple for discipline, and they show up to worship daily. Your environment is the invisible hand that shapes your habits. Marcus Aurelius lived in a palace, but he trained himself to think like a soldier. Didn't let luxury become weakness. If you want to change your life, start by changing the space around you. Build a place where your goals are supported by the tools and signals around you. Want to read more? Put books within reach. Want to train consistently? Set your shoes by the door. Want to focus? Delete what distracts? Discipline isn't just personal, it's architectural. Design friction against your worst impulses. Design a flow toward your best ones. Every object, every noise, every notification either strengthens or sabotages you. So, take control of what surrounds you, because the battle isn't just internal, it's environmental. Lesson 9. You are not your emotions, you are your actions. You can feel fear and still act with courage. You can feel sadness and still offer hope. You can feel anger and still choose grace. The Stoics never denied emotion. They denied it. Stoics never denied emotion. Throne, your feelings are that, not destiny. Every time you act despite how you feel, you strengthen the bridge between your values and your life. Over time, that bridge becomes your identity. Stop asking, do I feel like it? Start asking, is this aligned with who I'm becoming? Emotion is not the problem. Attachment to it is. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So when anxiety rises, let it, observe it, then take the next best action. When you separate who you are from what you feel, you reclaim your agency. You don't need to wait to feel fearless to act with bravery. You don't need to wait to feel ready to begin. Action in the face of emotion builds resilience. Repetition of that action builds identity. This is how Stoics train, not by silencing emotion, but by obeying reason above it. So the next time you're shaken, pause. Ask yourself, what does a disciplined version of me do right now? Then do it. Lesson 10. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Marcus fell short, often, but he never stopped returning to the path. You will fail, you will regress, you will forget what you promised yourself. But you do not need to be flawless. You need to be faithful. Show up again, journal again, say no again, begin again. The Stoics didn't seek perfection, they sought progress. Excellence isn't a finish line. It's a rhythm, a ritual. You're not falling. A ritual, you're not falling behind. You're learning forward. Think of growth as a spiral. You might revisit the same challenges, but each time you return wiser, stronger, and more aware. You're not who you were last time, and next time, you won't be who you are now. Measure progress in self-respect, not self-judgment. You won't win every battle, but win this one. Don't quit. Perfection is an illusion, but persistence, that's power. So no matter how messy the process, keep moving, because the only real failure is refusing to start again. Stop fighting yourself. Start leading yourself. You are not weak. You are just untrained. Marcus Aurelius wasn't born strong. He became strong by practicing these lessons day after day, thought after thought. Now it's your turn. Your turn. Don't need a perfect life. You need a trained mind. You don't need to win every battle. You need to stop fighting yourself. Start here. Start now, because once you stop sabotaging your peace, become unstoppable.